I believe the first movie we're going to talk about today is Ju-on, The Grudge.
Ju-on the Grudge is a Japanese supernatural horror film released in 2002. It's the third installment in the Ju-on series and is the first to be released theatrically. This story revolves around a curse created by Takeo Sakaya, who murders his wife and their son. They never showed why this guy was murdering his family. Well, at least in the US one, they actually showed him discovering that she was in love with the professor.
Welcome to one of the differences between Japanese films and American films. American films, you kind of have to be spoon-fed everything. Japanese films is kind of like, oh, okay, I understand. I have no idea who the main character is. The thing about this movie, it's episodical.
It does feel like this. The screen goes black and they have words pop up and they have the name of someone else, and then all of a sudden you see like how they became killed by the creature.
There's really nothing wrong with a movie being episodical, except for the fact that this one feels like it's a movie because the episodes weren't going to be long enough to be a drama.
It's like that movie Cat's Eye. It's episodic. There are all these different stories, and the only thing they all have to do with each other is that there's a cat involved.
It's different people dealing with the same spirit. The US version tries to fix that.
When you got one of these creatures, you need to get yourself a slayer, a vampire slayer. And that'd be Sarah Michelle Gellar, who is the star of The Grudge, which is a 2004 supernatural horror film. It stars Sarah Michelle Gellar as Karen Davis. In this one, Karen Davis is an American nurse living and working in Tokyo, is exposed to a mysterious supernatural curse. Now, my only question is, why did it have to take place in Japan?
Now, I didn't realize that this was directed by the same person that did Ju-on the Grudge. I had mentioned that one of the weaknesses for the Ringu was the localization of it. It's going to appeal to Japanese culture and Japanese mindset. So they changed the US version so that it appeals to the US culture and US mindset. This is the opposite of doing that. The movie really suffered because it's trying to take it as a Japanese mindset forced into a US movie. I don't know what it was with this movie. I don't know if it's the fact that the stars didn't want to be in it. Everyone has such a boring charisma to them. Bill Pullman's in it. It doesn't even seem like he wants to be there. Every single scene, it seems like he's depressed. He's like, crap, I'm in The Grudge. Sarah Michelle Gellar wasn't any better. She was just boring every single second she was on the screen.
This was not a very exciting character movie.
At the very beginning, you have that scene with Bill Pullman where he drops off the ledge. I was looking at like, is that Bill Pullman? I can't tell if it's Bill Pullman. That guy just seems like he's not an actor because he's not present there. And it took me until it gets to showing him again in the movie like, oh, yeah, that's Bill Pullman.
The actors were better in the Japanese version, but I think the US version, being an American, the story was easier for me to follow.